Ah, for the days long ago when my washing machine looked sparkly and new. Now the touchpad is peeled off, so it has to be taped on. And worse, the button that starts the machine broke such that I had to quickly hack in a replacement on laundry day. But then I thought, maybe this could just be the first step toward world domination.
E minus 40.
Enable missiles. Number 1 enabled. 2 enabled.
Would you look at that? So the idea here is to put another switch in parallel with the first switch. So if you imagine that this is the original switch and I flick that and the washing machine starts, but then I would put in another switch in parallel with that one. And that just simply means that both have the same input and the same output. And then I should be able to use either switch to start the washing machine or launch missiles. Okay, I created a quick design in Tinkercad to house the switch and ordered a couple of parts. So this switch is a little unusual. It's a momentary contact switch, so it springs back to the off position. I 3D printed that housing that I designed in Tinkercad. And then I heated and pressed in these threaded inserts that allows me to put a screw through the side of the washer and mount this thing. You can get a kit like this on Amazon for pretty cheap. Okay, now it's time to open up the washer. There are just 3 screws on the back side. And then the top slides backwards and then you lift from the back. Okay, now the control panel has to come off. First, this detergent drawer has to come out. You just press down on this tab and pull it out. And then once that's out, then there's just this one Torx screw that needs to come out. And then just at the top lip of the door is one Phillips screw that points straight up. I'm pointing out these details not because you've got the same washer that I do, but because I think most of them are made in a very similar way. The construction is almost exactly the same. On the right side of the control panel, there's a tab you just have to press in. I think actually on mine it's broken off already. And then as long as we're in here, I'll just point out a couple of other interesting things about these front load washers. So over here on the right side, actually on both sides, are the springs that suspend the drum. And then up here at the top and at the bottom are these concrete blocks that actually increase the inertial mass of the drum, keeps it from vibrating out of control. And then this box here is where the detergent and the fabric softener and any bleach goes. And you can see where water comes in here at the back and then flows out over here on the side down into the drum. And this little gear arrangement here, I believe, moves around some baffles inside to make sure the water goes down the right chute and flushes the right things into the drum. Okay, and then just to complete the tour, I'll just open up this bottom panel so you can see what's down there. Right here is the pump, and by unscrewing this access port here, you can get to a little filter basket. And then in each one of the corners are the shock absorbers. And then way in the back here, you can see the motor. And then this is the back side. You can see the motor here. And then of course the drive belt and the pulley that drives the drum. I didn't make a video, but I also replaced the bearings that are just on the other side of the pulley here. And that was a bear of a job. And now back to world domination. Okay, here I'm just removing those 2 screws, the one from the left side and the one from the center. And then there are 3 tabs at the top of the control panel. If you just pry up a little bit, the plastic's pretty flexible, and those tabs will release. So here I'm going to flip it over and access the PCB here. I didn't really have to remove the PCB, but it's kind of convenient for doing the testing. The PCB is held in place with these 3 screws, and then there are 4 tabs that just have to be depressed. It's a little tricky because you have to sort of pry up the board while you depress the tabs, but it's really just not that hard. Okay, with the PCB loose, I can now get direct access to the switch. I just wanted to press that while I put a meter on it just to make sure that I got the continuity correct. So I wanted to just make sure that my momentary contact switches are the same. They usually come in 2 varieties, normally open or normally closed. The one I bought is normally open, so I needed to confirm this was the same. Here I'm just firing up the soldering iron, and then I'm going to tin a couple of wires, and those 2 wires are going to go to the 2 contacts of the switch. You'll see here I put some flux on the wires, and then of course I'll do the same when I get to the switch. This would have been the right time to just stop and test to make sure that things are working, but it's really just 2 wires, so I was pretty confident it was going to work. Here I'm marking for the screw holes that are going to line up with the switch. I was doing it mostly by eye, but I was giving myself a little bit of slack by using an oversized drill bit. And then I had to drill one more hole for the wires to come through. Okay, now I can put the screws through and try and attach this thing. Then the control panel just snaps back into place. The detergent drawer goes back in, and now I have to refasten those two screws, the one by the detergent drawer and then the one just above the washer drawer. So now it's time to wire up those the switch with those two wires that come out the side of the washer now. Unfortunately, the switch has screw terminals, which makes this really easy. I just have to strip the wires back, wrap it around the screws, and tighten them up. You'll see here in a moment that the bottom of that enclosure is open, so the switch and the switch terminals are going to be exposed out the bottom. But that's really no problem. These are all low voltage wires. It's nothing high powered here, so it's not dangerous at all. You can see there's a little excess wire here, but there is some extra space in the enclosure, so I'll just tuck the extra wire length inside that extra space. The switch now just gets fitted up through the hole in the top of the enclosure, and then I just have to fit on top of that the switch guard, after dropping it, of course, and then put the nut on. A quick tighten of the nut, and it's ready to be checked. Okay, now time for a quick check, but you weren't worried about this launching missiles, right? No, I haven't verified the codes or put in the detergent. And first I got to get the top back on, get it screwed in. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my venture into the world of goofy washing machine hacks, and I hope you do your own.